Halloween, my favorite time of year.
It's finally Halloween. The leaves are swirling, the wind is howling, and I find myself terrified. It's scary out there, but if you're brave enough, here are 13 Halloween specials to take your spooky season to the next level. Lumpkin the Pumpkin is an oddball, unbelievably not lost media holiday special. Featuring catastrophically cheap animation, garishly straining acting and singing.
Witches have to be scary. Halloween.
All from the talented Bobby Goldsboro. Featured in his own 1994 special, Lumpkin could also be seen as a guest on the Goldsboro-produced show Swamp Critters of the Lost Lagoon. Having a wonderful felt form,
My name is Lumpkin.
he also has an odious animated form. I just personally think he's much more adorable as a puppet. Tara the Witch does not want to follow the destiny set upon her by her mother and the local witch coven. She is supposed to find a scary pumpkin to frighten children, but instead she picks Lumpkin.
My name is Lumpkin. There's nothing scary about him.
He is unassuming at first, gangly, off-putting, uncanny. He supposedly doesn't want to scare anyone and feels insecure about this. You may want to scorn him for this cowardice, but he is revealed to be well-meaning. His heart is in the right place. Throughout the course of this heinous special, he is able to find his purpose. Fire up Lumpkin the Pumpkin to learn the ways of Lumpkin. You will believe that a pumpkin can save every child.
My name is Lumpkin. My name is
Lumpkin.
That little pumpkin won't scare anyone. Listen, you ugly wart-nosed old hag.
Look at me, Lumpkin! It's all for you!
You've probably seen Tim Burton's animated film, Frankenweenie, but I'm here to sing the praises of his original, lesser-watched, live-action version. Frankenweenie 1984 uses the Frankenstein mythos to tell a heartwarming and cute story of a town, a boy, and his dog. It features endearing performances from the lovable Shelley Duvall, a very young Sofia Coppola, and Barrett Oliver. While the human actors are quite talented, the real star is Sparky, the bull terrier. When you think of famous bull terriers, your mind might drift to Honey Tree Evil Eye, aka Spuds MacKenzie, or more recently, Kingsmere Moondoggie, the first Target mascot dog. But don't forget about the hero who boldly paved the way for future generations of bull terriers to be icons in the public consciousness. Sparky the canine actor shines as the character Sparky in this suburban reimagining of Frankenstein. Burton utilizes old cinema-inspired charm, combining aesthetics of creature features, stylistic suburbia, and gothic Burtonisms we would later grow familiar with in his film catalog. The black and white photography captures remarkable sets, including a gorgeous cemetery and an electrified mad scientist laboratory, with odes to German expressionism. Frankenweenie carries a touching emotional conceit throughout its short runtime, and Sparky brings communities together through the literal power of his sheer electric charisma. Ghouls just want to have fun. When a group of high schoolers break into a museum and steal historical costumes, they accidentally awaken the spirits of their long-deceased ancestors. Made for TV, 1985's The Midnight Hour is a spunky and at times quite emotional film. I always appreciate horror set in New England. The natural beauty of the area and the centuries-old locales always lend a hefty dose of cozy atmosphere to any horror film. This one utilizes classic horror settings of a cozy town and a foggy cemetery. The cast have great chemistry with each other, with standout engaging performances from Sherry Belafonte and LeVar Burton. The story and sets remind me of The Return of the Living Dead, and there is also an air of homage over the midnight hour that is reminiscent of horror of the 1950s, not unlike Night of the Creeps and the Blob remake. But make no mistake, homage or otherwise, the midnight hour still carries a clear identity. At the core of this movie is the romance between Lee Montgomery's Phil Grenville and Jonna Lee's Sandy Matthews. Romance can be a hard angle for horror to pull off, but with a hefty dose of tragedy and a nostalgia-inducing soundtrack, The Midnight Hour is able to juggle its comedic, romantic, and frightening emotions without compromise. Also, keep a keen eye out for the cinematic debut of Macaulay Culkin as an uncredited trick-or-treater.
Happy Halloween.
This is an odd one. You might be familiar with Washington Irving's iconic short story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, or one of the many iterations and spin-offs. But this has to be one of the weirder ones. The cast is stacked with talent. William H. Macy, Luke Perry, Mark Hamill, Tia Carrere, Jeff Bennett, Clancy Brown, Debbie Derryberry, and, hilariously, Bill Fagerbakke, literally just doing his Patrick voice from SpongeBob. All of the voice actors deliver euphonious performances, which only makes the film all the stranger for the talent present. You can't talk about this movie without discussing the disastrous CGI. It's as uniquely fluid, vivid, and lively as it is hideous. I cannot stress this enough, this animation is cursed. Yet, for how garish and unwatchable it is, it's still effective and conveys an accidentally uncanny, eerie tone. Yet, not unlike a train wreck, it's impossible to look away. Not to mention, Night of the Horseman is bloodier and more gruesome than one could expect from an animated movie. All in all, this is one of the most unusual send-ups of the Sleepy Hollow story. In spite of how horrible it looks, there's still a lot to enjoy here.
Seeking his head, his missing head.
Well, it's not his own. And anybody's head will do.
I wouldn't go out on a night like this for $1.50. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I grew up with How the Grinch Stole Christmas and I would watch it every holiday season. But I had no idea that the Grinch had insidiously infiltrated another holiday. This Halloween special follows the story of a Who named Euchariah and his perilous, Grinch-plagued journey to the euphemism.
I gotta go to the euphemism.
The euphemism?
Released 11 years after How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Halloween is Grinch Night serves as a prequel in the illustrious Grinch canon, as we find the Grinch still at bitter odds with the Who's in Whoville. As the Grinch perdiciously descends upon Whoville, he encounters poor Euchariah and attempts to scare him. What happens next will shock you. Featuring fun songs and Seuss's iconic art style, this short will spook and entertain you. Plus, it will make his redemption arc in the Christmas special all the more meaningful.
I wouldn't go out on a night like this for $1.50.
It's a wonderful night for eyebrows.
You know, sir, this looks a lot better without my glasses.
You put your glasses back on and face the facts, Euchariah.
This 1980 handmade horror anthology was released for public access television in Bloomington, Indiana, a community effort infused with local pride, featuring documentary footage of various hauntings from Indianan folklore. Regardless of the non-existent budget and meager means of production, this seemingly simple short has some real talent behind it. Made by Stephen White and his brother Michael, Stephen would go on to write the majority of the Barney and Friends episodes, and work on various other projects including the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. The hands that crafted Barney into an icon also poured their love into this brisk, charming short. On a quick aside, White can also turn his feet almost all the way around. Spooky, right? There's a pure essence of Halloween joy present as we glide from segment to segment of this forgotten Halloween special. Pull this gem out whenever needed to induce that comforting Halloween feeling and experience a genuine scare or two along the way.
Tonight on the Disney Sunday Movie, the Davises are moving into a new house.
Definite fixer-upper.
This 1986 made-for-TV short film is a pretty conventional haunted house story. When a family moves into a new home, they find there's more there than meets the eye. That's right, it's haunted by an odd assortment of ghosts, the most frightening of which is the titular Mr. Boogedy, the ghost of a humorless pilgrim. Which is funny, because where the movie stands out most is in its comedy. I particularly liked the performance of Richard Masur, who plays a dad dead set on pranking and scaring his kids. His line reads and physical acting make him a real standout here. He is consistently funny.
This house is not haunted. What boogedy man?
Akin to a long Goosebumps episode, this has everything you could want from a short children's movie, with ghostly apparitions in every room and objects moving on their own. Mr. Boogedy might play more or less on the typical rules of a haunted house film, but it's still a fun time. Shut your brain off and enjoy the simplicity of Mr. Boogedy.
It's spirited family fun. Mr. Boogedy.
I'd move.
You've probably heard of a fairy godmother, but what if you had a scary godmother? Based off the award-winning children's books and comics by the wonderfully talented Jill Thompson, Scary Godmother Halloween Spooktacular is an early 2000s CGI adaptation. Premiering at Comic-Con and then later airing on Cartoon Network October 1st, 2004, and then continually re-aired, Spooky Godmother has cemented its status as a Halloween essential. When young trick-or-treater Hannah Marie is pranked by her cruel cousin and his friends, she is magically transported to a world far spookier than our own. Before peril can befall her, she becomes acquainted with a charismatic cast of creepy characters. The Scary Godmother, a spooky skeleton, a whimpering werewolf, and a now internet-famous family of vampires are vibrantly brought to life with the colorful animation. I've seen people mock the rough, shadowy, heavily lined art style, but it doesn't bother me at all. Whereas it's not as gorgeous as the source material, I still feel as though the animators were able to capture the spirit that Thompson exemplifies across her work. Overall, Spooky Godmother Halloween Spooktacular is a modern classic that you won't want to miss.
Breaker, we've lost contact with Katie and Daryl. Please advise, Houston, over.
Bert, nobody puts CBs in SUVs these days.
You just left your baby cousin to the mercy of killer monsters on Halloween night, and you're concerned with the additions and upgrades in my cardboard SUV?
Good point.
Please fasten your safety belts.
Based off the 1971 novel by the legendary writer Ray Bradbury, comes this riveting 1993 animated movie. Bradbury also serves as the narrator as we follow a group of trick-or-treaters. Their night escalates, one spooky antic after another. Eventually, for the sake of their friend, they have to band together and go on a globe-trotting adventure that spans centuries. The star of this is the titular Halloween tree, a gorgeously animated behemoth of a tree, adorned with hundreds of jack-o'-lanterns. The voice acting is strong and charismatic, and the score is effortlessly beautiful and frightening. As the children explore haunted vista after haunted vista, you will find yourself entranced by the varied and vivid imagery. You can tell a lot of effort went into every level of the construct, built off of strong source material. With striking animation and heaps of heart, this is an undisputed Halloween classic. You can't go wrong with throwing on the Halloween tree.
Halloween tree!
It's Garfield. You should know more or less what you're getting. While the popularity of this 20th century icon is seemingly at an all-time low, his impact remains ever present. Watch as Garfield and Odie go trick-or-treating, sing wholesome songs, and meet terrifying ghosts. This is, in my opinion, one of the more interesting Garfield adventures, with a few moments that were actually a bit spooky. As spooky as a Garfield cartoon can be, I mean. Lorenzo Music turns in another consistent voice acting performance. The music is fun, and some of the animation is vivid and frightening. Check out Garfield's Halloween Adventure for a surefire spooky time with America's favorite hefty cat.
Well, the only bad part about it is it's on that farm where Farmer Fletcher, he had all those massacres and killed all those people.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I heard about it every day.
Rumors say it was the farmer who murdered children on his farm.
I personally believe that heart and atmosphere are more important than any other aspect of filmmaking. I present 1989's Halloween Party as evidence. Shot on camcorder by teenager David Skowronski, this short film was aired on public access television in Connecticut. There's no budget. The music is all recycled from other movies, including a hilarious overuse of the main theme from John Carpenter's Halloween. The visuals are dark and muddied, and the plot is as standard as they come. There aren't any special effects. None of these statements are critiques. The shoddiness and cobbled together feel, combined with the completely amateur cast, lend a powerful feeling of anonymity and charisma to the short. Watching Halloween Party feels like hanging out with your friends. There's an astute atmosphere of comfort and familiarity from this innocent construct. In an increasingly cynical world, Halloween Party is the antidote. Stick around to the end to see the hilarious bloopers and the cast and crew performing the Monster Mash. This is as wholesome as Halloween gets.
Are you going to Beck's party?
No, they haven't asked me yet.
They're not invited.
They're not invited.
Spawned from the satanic panic of the 1980s, this so-called documentary was created with the sole purpose of scaring people out of celebrating Halloween. Instead, it accidentally makes Halloween seem powerful and all-consuming. Produced by the controversial Jeremiah Films, Pagan Invasion claims that Halloween is an explicitly satanic holiday. It features interviews from victims of satanic ceremonies and police officers, and my personal favorite, a witch/martial arts expert, who all claim that hundreds of children are sacrificed every Halloween, but they provide literally no evidence. Like, no, seriously, there's no evidence that any of these ceremonies and sacrifices are actually happening. Regardless, Pagan Invasion pushes these claims adamantly. It features interviews with modern-day druids who are minding their business, and horror movie convention goers who are also minding their business, and these interviews are intentionally edited and misconstrued to make the mere enjoyment of horror movies, and in the case of the druids, freedom of religion and love of the environment, seem satanic and twisted. In these attempts to demonize horror, Halloween, pagans, and joy in general, Pagan Invasion offers a veritable cornucopia of Halloween imagery and vibes. It's akin to being injected with pure Halloween essence. The libel and slander only aggrandizes the importance of the holiday. You're probably familiar with the Scooby-Doo franchise, the iconic dog and the ever-familiar cast who form the Mystery Gang. There are over 30 direct-to-video home releases, but Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost is my personal favorite, and the one I feel has the spookiest atmosphere and vibes. The Scooby Gang find themselves in a small New England town to attend a witch-themed fall festival. The town is adorned with gorgeous, crisp, red and orange autumnal leaves. But its successful commerce is built on tourism rooted in a dark history, as Puritans executed a woman accused of witchcraft in the 17th century. When the sun goes down, the stylish art design and animation shine, as scary spells and colorful curses light up the dark. Some of the most iconic voice actors of the Scooby-Doo series are present here, and The Witch's Ghost also features a rapturous performance from cinema icon Tim Curry as the horror novelist Ben Ravencroft. Accompanying stars of the special are fan favorites, the ever-charming Hex Girls, here to sing some spooky eco-goth jams. This is one of their rare appearances in a Scooby movie, and they make the best of their screen time. The vibes are ripe with fall atmosphere and mystery. What more could you want from Scooby-Doo? Those were 13 Halloween specials to spice up your spooky season. Have you seen any of them? Were there any that you think I missed? Let me know down in the comments. If you liked this video, like and subscribe, and join me over on Letterboxd and Instagram. And have a cursed Halloween season. A pumpkin can save every child. Instead, it accidentally makes Halloween seem all-powering. Oh. There's a... what? By the... what's it? And objects moving on their own.